For most people, alien abductions begin with terror, with screaming lights, with violence, with chaos that announces itself all at once. This one begins quietly, so quietly it almost feels accidental, on a dark road, late at night, with a married couple trying to get home. On September 19th, 1961, Betty and Barney Hill were driving south through rural New Hampshire after a short vacation in Canada. They had crossed the border hours earlier. The drive was supposed to be uneventful. The road was empty. The forests were dense, and the night felt unusually still. Not peaceful, just watchful. That was when Betty noticed a light in the sky. At first, she assumed it was a star, then maybe a satellite, something distant, something ordinary. But the light didn't stay fixed. It moved, not like an aircraft, not like anything they recognized. As they continued driving, the object followed. It drifted across the sky, stopping when they stopped, moving again when they moved again. It kept its distance, as if measuring them. Barney tried to remain rational. He dismissed it as an aircraft. He searched for explanations that would make the night feel normal again. But something about the way it behaved felt wrong. Eventually, Barney pulled the car over. He stepped out, lifted his binoculars, and looked directly at the object. What he saw changed everything. Behind a row of illuminated windows, Barney saw figures. Not shadows, not reflections, but forms that were unmistakably present. Beings, short, thin, with disproportionately large heads and dark, slanted eyes that seemed to wrap around their faces. Barney later said he felt something immediate and overwhelming. Not curiosity, not disbelief, fear. The kind that doesn't come from imagination, but recognition. They are going to capture us, he said. They got back in the car and drove. The road blurred beneath them. The forest closed in. And then there's a gap, a silence in memory, a stretch of time that refuses to resolve. When Betty and Barney reached home, it was far later than it should have been. Nearly 2 hours had passed. Neither could explain where the time had gone. Their watches had stopped working, as if time itself had been interrupted. Barney's shoes were scuffed beyond normal wear. Betty's dress was torn, and neither of them could remember what had happened on the road. In the days that followed, strange things began to surface. Not all at once, but slowly, like fragments pushing through fog. Betty experienced vivid dreams, repeating dreams, dreams that felt more like memories of being taken aboard a craft, of medical examinations, of beings who spoke without moving their mouths. Barney, meanwhile, grew anxious, withdrawn. He began suffering from ulcers and insomnia. His body reacted before his mind could catch up. Event haunted him, even though he couldn't remember it. Years later, desperate for answers, they agreed to undergo hypnotic regression therapy, separately, with no shared sessions. What what emerged under hypnosis was disturbing and nearly identical. Both described being led onto a craft. Both described long corridors and curved walls. Both described small, gray-skinned beings with large black eyes and thin limbs, details emerging piece by piece. Betty recalled a needle being inserted into her abdomen. She was told it was a test, a pregnancy test. Barney recalled intense fear during his examination and the beings attempting to calm him. Neither of them had been science fiction fans. Neither had consumed alien media before the event. And at the time, the image of what we now call greys did not exist in popular culture. Yet their descriptions would later become the template. One detail stands out. Betty claimed she was shown a star map, a map of where the beings came from, a map meant to orient her. Years later, she drew it from memory. An amateur astronomer would later suggest the map corresponded to the Zeta Reticuli star system, but only when viewed from a very specific vantage point. Coincidence or something else? Skeptics argue hypnosis is unreliable. That memory can be shaped. That suggestion can creep in. And those criticisms matter. They deserve scrutiny. But here is what cannot be dismissed so easily. Two people, interviewed separately, with no incentive for fame, no financial gain, no history of deception, telling the same story and never changing it. Barney Hill never embraced the experience. He remained deeply unsettled by it until his death. Betty, on the other hand, became more open, more curious, but no less convinced. Neither ever claimed to understand what happened, only that something did. The Hill case didn't just introduce alien abduction into modern culture. It defined it. The missing time, the examinations, the beings, the silence, and perhaps the most unsettling part, they weren't searching for the extraordinary. They weren't looking for answers. They were just trying to get home. And whatever they encountered on that road found them first. This wasn't the last case like it. Subscribe to Moonlit Archives for more encounters that refuse to fade.